Oh, yes. Oh, you love that. You love to see it. Yo, what's going on, guys? We got a beautiful warm day here in southwestern Montana. Trying to take advantage of it, get some fishing in on this beautiful day. We really got two goals for today. The first is to gain some confidence in some flies. Some new flies, not necessarily new, but new to me. The first is going to be Landon Mayer's mini leech, and the other is a Bling Midge with my slight little adjustment. I had to put a tungsten bead on it because it stresses me out when flies don't have tungsten beads on it. Plus our water here is pushing a little bit more than some other streams that I'm used to fishing, so needed a little extra weight to get it down without adding some split shot, obviously. And the second is just to try out a new spot. I haven't fished this section of river before. It looks really nice. Water might be moving just a touch fast for fish holding in winter water. I'm assuming they're still kind of in those wintry water spots, but nonetheless there definitely could be some fish holding out here. And kind of hoping, I'm looking around, kind of looking for some poking heads, and hopefully I'm going to get some dry fly action in with some small midge patterns, which would be a great way to spend the day. But we're going to get after it, and hopefully we can get on a few fish.
You know, I didn't get any dry fly action, so. But in the blue corner, Landon Mayer's mini leech, and in the red corner, Bling Midge modified with tungsten bead. So this first fish actually takes the mini leech. And just kind of note where I'm fishing right now. We'll come back to it later. But gorgeous brown. Obviously, the leech. So I already kind of fished a little bit over by the rock. Now you see I step back. I'm way upstream. Just kind of doing my thing. So fishing new flies. Oh, that one ate the midge. So fishing new flies kind of stresses me out a little bit, and can kind of hurt my confidence a little bit. But you got to learn how to fish new flies, or you got to test out new flies. So we'll see what this fish ate, but yeah, so this fish ate just a waltz worm, and basically I kind of figured there was some fish over here, and I kind of threw some casts to it earlier. Didn't really catch much, but again, like I'm trying to fish new flies, and this is, you know, something, the flies I don't have confidence in yet. Obviously the waltz worm is a huge confidence pattern for me, so I kind of used that. I took the leech off, put that on point, and kind of figured out weights, kind of figured out what the fish wanted, where they were holding, and you know, after a few fish, you know, having a little fun, you know, each fish is putting confidence, you know, in my fishing abilities, in my tactics, in my depths, all that stuff. So I'm catching a few fish. You can kind of see they're holding in the slow water. I mean, this is mid-March. They're still basically in winter water. But eventually you're going to see me here take off this waltz worm and put on the leech again in the exact same weight. So I know now I have the right weights, right rig, and now it's just time to see what the flies can do, really. Gotta love jumpers though, they're so fun. Gorgeous rainbow. You can see now I'm cutting off the waltz worm. The leech is coming back on, and I'm actually glad that I fished this hole a little bit more, because I think I picked up one or two more fish, and probably the two are the bigger fish of the day. And I always do the little peek to see if my GoPro is recording. So that's why you can see directly at my nose sometimes. Nice little rainbow. Another rainbow for the leech. Yep. But just fish right now are really congregated. Oh, another rainbow. Really congregated. You can see that's a lot of fish in a small area. This fish is really cool. I actually missed this fish on the cast before and just kind of dropped that leech back in there, jigged it through. Popped it upstream a few times, and then when I let it finally drift, this fish came and grabbed it. Definitely a bigger fish. This is definitely one of the biggest of the day. And it is a rainbow. I thought at first it was brown. So this kind of had my mind going a little bit. I was kind of wondering if maybe these fish are a little bit more active, and kind of if they wanted a little bit of movement in the fly. Obviously a gorgeous healthy rainbow. So you can see I kind of cast it across to the slow stuff. I don't think I picked up a fish here. I expected to, but I'm kind of just jigging it horizontally, the fly. I'd already given it some dead drifts and then kind of saw if it needed some action. And now we are switched into the deadly indicator nymph setup, kind of a bigger pool. Also was battling some windy conditions, but able to fish a little bit farther across from me, a little farther away, especially as we'll see in later clips, kind of this inside. Upstream of me is a very slow moving, not super shallow, but kind of mid-depth kind of water zone, so I kind of thought the indicator was the best technique. Also, I'm trying to learn, trying to get better at the suspension stuff. That fish was on a leech. This fish is on a leech. The leech is crushing it right now. I think I only got one fish on the midge. This might also be a midge fish. No, it wasn't. But you can kind of see I'm staying back. I'm fishing close to shore, as you kind of see the upstream angle.
It's a midge fish.
There's a midge fish. There it is. I knew I had one close. And now I'm basically moved out. I worked all the way upstream there, and now I'm basically standing where I caught that fish, that first fish, fishing this big eddy just upstream of me. You can kind of see it there. Leech fish. Most of these fish come on the leech. I will say a little bit of an unfair advantage for the leech because it was the point fly. It was the one closest to the bottom, and especially in these colder conditions. This was, again, mid-March. These fish are hugging the bottom, so I can confirm that since filming this video and on other fishing trips, I've fished that midge pattern a lot more, and it's fished very good for me. It's a really effective pattern.
Oh yes.
I worked all the way across, kind of came back through this eddy that I was standing in again.
Love that. Love to see it.
Picked up this last fish, and yeah, you do love to see it. Some jumpers. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Obviously, the leech takes the cake, but the Bling Midge is also an incredible fly. It works really good. Gonna leave a link to a tutorial by Fly Fish Food and how they tie it. Only variation is I tie it with a tungsten bead. But enjoy. Try out both these patterns. Oh, and that was a midge fish to finish the day. How do you like that? So try out both these patterns. See how they work for you. And we'll catch you in the next video real soon. Take care, y'all.